My paper name is Research on Risk Perception of Chinese Female College Students Fashion Online Shopping in Guangdong. First, in this paper, signal detection theory is proposed in order to quantitatively analyze the perceived risk of Chinese female college students' fashion online shopping. Firstly, it defines the concept of female college students' perceived risk, analyze the main types of manifestation of online shopping perceived risk based on the literature review, combination with the risk of female college students' online shopping. A questionnaire was developed. 20 female college students from the normal university were randomly selected as test subjects. SGT is used to evaluate the sensitivity and reaction tendency of female college students according to the risk status. The sensitivity value and the reaction tendency value of the response of 20 female college students were obtained. The results of the study show that the sensitivity value is minus 4.65 to 0.93, which is generally low and the difference was small. But the maximum reaction tendency value is 12.265 and the minimum is 0.7191. The values of this indicator vary widely, and this is physically inconsistent with the actual situation, indicating that the SDK proposed in this study can be used to evaluate the perceived risk of female college students' fashion online shopping scientifically and accurately. First, introduction. The existing research mainly focuses on the perceived risk concept and influence factors. There are relatively few research on the perceived risk ability of online fashion purchase behavior, especially how to quantitatively evaluate the female college students' online fashion purchase perceived risk ability based on the research of the existing online shopping risk types. We combined the specific risk scenarios of female college students' online shopping process, sets up the questionnaire, and use the SGT to evaluate the online shopping perceived risk ability of Chinese female college students, which will provide reference for the cultivation and promotion of female college students' online fashion purchase perceived risk ability. 2. Theoretical background. In the first half of 2018, the domestic online retail market transaction volume reached 408 billion yuan, a year-on-year increase of 30.1%, accounting for 22% of the total retail sales of consumer products. The types of online shopping are still increasing, expanding to the beauty, service, catering, home, medical, and other industries. So online shopping as a new and interesting shopping method will continue to develop. In addition, in the half of the 2018, National Internet Connected Report Department received 390.82 million reports in total. It reveals that China's network mall shopping security situation is not optimistic. By combining with the previous research and the actual situation of Chinese online shopping malls, the researcher divided the perceived risk of Chinese online shopping malls into 5 categories of including economic risk, performance risk, social risk, psychological risk, and time risk, and use them as risk types in this study. Parasurama 2000 provides an algorithm that can be used to calculate the values of the 4 results in which the following relations can be satisfied in Formula 1. With the definition of HR and FAR as the female college students' perceived risk response, sensitive and reaction tendency respective, the HR and FAR can be calculated by Formula 2. And alpha and beta can be calculated in Formula 3 and 4. Third, research methods and procedures. The questionnaire to understand the types of perceived risk and STT evaluation of female college students at the time of clothing product purchase on the online mall was studied by NU Park. Among them, 13 questions were collected as the basic data of the tests, and the other 12 questions were used for the STT evaluation as shown in Table 1. The research questions in this study are as follows. Question 1. STT can scientifically and accurately analyze the sensitive and reaction tendency of female college students' perceived risk perception. Question 2. The higher the response, the sensitivity index of female college students, the higher the risk perception ability. The higher the response tendency index, the higher the risk-taking tendency toward risk. Question 3. Female college students have small difference in sensitive indicators and large difference in response tendency indicators. 4. Results and discussions. As shown in Table 2, according to the data in Table 2 and the formulas 1, 2, 3, 4, we can calculate to the HR, FAR, and beta. The results is as shown. As shown in Table 3. All the values are at minus 4.65 to 0.93. So the risk perception sensitivity of 20 female college students is relatively low. As shown in Table 4. The results of the reaction tendency of 20 female college students are statistically reflect the value of the reaction tendency response to the risk signal. The larger the value, the more conservative the signal response of the test. that is, the probability of female college students taking risks is greater. The smaller the value, the more relaxed the standard for the responding signal response. That is, the risk judgment of the female college students is very cautious. From the table 4, it can be seen that the minimum value of the 20 female college student test was 0.7191, and the largest was 12.2650. The difference were obvious, which reflects the difference in risk perception of female college students. 5. Conclusion. Through the research results, it can be seen that the difference in risk perception sensitivity of female college students is small, but the risk perception response tendency among individuals is quite different. The findings can provide some theoretical advice for online mall apparel product operators when selling apparel products to target customers like female college students. Attention should be paid to reducing potential economic risk, performance risk, social risk, and psychological risk factors. Because female college students' growth perception sensitivity is generally low, and the risk perception response tendency is quite different. Therefore, when the online mall operators promote, display, and sell products, they must ensure that the quality, delivery time, and the popularity of the products are consistent with the actual situation. In addition, the relevant departments must work together to ensure the environmental security of the online payment of the online mall. Higher education institutions also need to improve their network risk perception ability by setting up lectures or courses